We can. All right. So thank you for coming today to IRS Tips and Tricks. My name is Catherine Kruse. I'm the Client Service Manager here at Hawk Kruse.
And I'm Jake Shockey. I'm a senior accountant here at Hawk Kruse.
So Jake and I started this webinar series because we work with clients kind of on both sides or on multiple sides with IRS questions and issues. So on my side specifically, I work with a lot of people trying to make IRS payments that get notices and are trying to figure out what they should be doing. And Jake.
Yeah, so basically when they receive the notice, I will look through it and figure out what's going on with it and then relay that back to you and figure out a way to go figure out the options to then get rid of that notice.
So we wanted to be sure today, like we put this webinar together because we just wanted to be sure that people had a resource for what happens when they get a notice, but also like why we recommend getting an IRS account and how easy it is to sign up for one. So the goal today is for you to leave with a few different pieces of information. One, what are the benefits of the IRS web account? Two, how easy it is to sign up for one. That's the benefits. And then the third one is to display the different features available once you have an account. So we're going to be walking you through our favorite things about the IRS site. If you have any questions, please feel free to send us a chat and you're more than happy to get those answered. So this is the web page that you see when you go to irs.gov. I think what's really nice about this IRS site is that it shows you exactly what your options are as soon as you go to it. So as long as you know what you're looking for when you get started, you're going to find what it is you're looking for really easily. So Jake's going to walk us through what the different options are and just kind of give us a brief overview of what they mean.
Okay. So I'm going to start up top corner here. Get your refund status. This is basically if you're waiting on a refund from the last 3 years, you're going to be able to type in a little bit of information and see where it's at in the process, whether it's, hey, we've sent it to you, we're still processing, or we need a little more information. Usually they only tell you if they sent it or it's still processing or that you need to call. So this could be a very helpful tool for anyone who's still waiting. It's been 4 months, you don't know where it's at. It gives you a little bit more information to go off of. And if you are waiting for a refund and it's taken a while, and it can definitely lead you into a way of where do I need to call and see why. And it's very helpful. We found out multiple people who have just needed to verify their identity with the government, and then they can get that refund taken care of.
And I think so that option 2 over is also to check your amended return status. So same thing, if you file an amended tax return, you'll have the option to check the status of that there, which is a pretty new development for the IRS. One thing I would add in is if you are waiting for your refund, it hasn't come, you checked your status and it just seems to be like stuck somewhere, don't hesitate to give Hawk Kruse a call. We're happy to walk you through a couple options. We can't make your refund come faster. Unfortunately, that's not something that we are able to do, but sometimes we can call on your behalf to get a better idea of what's going on specifically.
Yeah, so that's a big main thing. If you do get, if you are wondering where it's at, and especially when it comes to an amended return, the IRS taking a long time to process amended returns, take upwards of 6 months to a year. So be patient when it comes to an amended return. When it comes to your refund, couple months, and then give us a call. But still be patient. They're taking a long time for everything.
Yeah, and don't hesitate to call Hawk Kruse if you have any concerns.
Yeah, I love talking to people about their refunds and telling them what to do. So sign into your account. Next one, this is basically what we're going to be doing throughout the rest of the webinar. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. File your taxes for free. This is where if you hand do your taxes or do it yourself, dependent does it, you go here and you can then file it under their the IRS's e-filing system.
They have a few different options for that. So if you are looking to file your dependent's tax return, or if someone has a fairly straightforward tax return, what will happen when you click on that option is it'll take you to kind of a questionnaire where it asks you a few different questions about the return. and then it's going to tell you what its recommendation is for a vendor. It is free. That is why the button says for free. So if someone tries to get you to pay for those returns, then maybe just double check that you're in the right place, because the purpose of having this there is so that they don't have to pay for it. So typically, Hot Kruse, we charge $250 for a dependent return. So if you would prefer to file for free online, this is a great place to start. The IRS is only going to recommend vendors that it trusts.
Yep. So next, get your tax record. We're going to go into the multiple different tax records that are available to you online. So we'll get into a little bit more of that later. Make a payment. This is where you go without an account, or if you want to go to sign into your account through here, this is where you'd go to make a payment through your bank account or a credit card. We'll go into that a little bit later as well.
And that's we'll talk about it, but estimates, balance due for your 1040, balance due for an amended return. If you have an audit balance due, any type of payment you need to make to the IRS, you can go through there. And we'll show you the screen in a few slides.
Gain answers to your tax questions. This is basically a frequently asked questions page that the IRS comes in, gets every once in a while. So they give you a nice list there. Apply for your employer ID number or an EIN. This is basically to get a tax identification number for a business or disregarded entity or sole proprietor. So this takes you through a couple of prompts, or even a trust account as well. So this is where you'd go to get that. Define forms and instructions. This is any form that the IRS has available to taxpayers to use. You can find it there along with the instructions.
Excellent. So we wanted to show you, we are going to go through at the end exactly how to sign up for an IRS account. So we'll kind of show you the different screens to expect and the timing of that. But before we did that, we wanted to show you how nice it is to have a page and kind of what our recommendations are there. So this is a real life taxpayers page on their IRS account. This is the homepage. So it's what you see as soon as you sign in, and wanted to just walk you through this a little bit. So your account status is right there. That's going to tell you whether or not the IRS believes you still have a balance due, which can be very helpful, especially if you have notices out from them, or if you're just trying to make sure that your tax account is paid up. Payments is where you can go to make a payment, an estimate, your balance due for your tax return, for an amended return, for the audit, just like we talked about before. The view payment activity is a button that you can go and see what the IRS has on record for you. So if you're trying to figure out when you paid, what you paid, you can view this and you're going to see exactly what the IRS has on file. So that's a really helpful one. Notifications. So this is one that Jake and I are going to kind of recommend with caution. The IRS is currently trying to go fully paperless. They're stuck a little bit. They haven't gotten there. Some notices are still on paper, some are not on paper. So it's kind of like a lottery, a Russian roulette, whether or not, if you sign up for paperless notices, whether or not you'll be able to get them. It certainly doesn't hurt to sign up for email notifications. That's something that can be helpful, especially like if you make any changes to your account, it's going to send you a notification. If you authorize someone like Hot Kruse to speak on your behalf, it's going to send you a notification. So that's really helpful. But we kind of like cautiously don't recommend signing up for paperless notices right now, just because you really want to be sure that the system is set up to take full advantage before you do that.
Yeah, this is something that, they're just getting into it. They're clearly going to have some bugs and some things that need to get fixed. I'd rather you err on the side of safety and get all notices sent to you paper, instead of getting some sent electronically, and who knows if it gets messed up or even if it's working properly. So that way we're not missing any notices at all.
And that's just coming from our personal observations working in a tax firm. Like as Hot Kruse loves paperless, believes in the internet, like wants you to use applications, wants you to use safety. This is like the only thing we would recommend not going paperless on, just because we've already seen that it's just not quite working well enough. And we want to be sure, like Jake said, that your information is safe, that if you are getting notices, they can be responded to quickly and accordingly, et cetera.
Yep.
So just to give you some background, I've almost never said, don't go paperless. It never happened. So, and then records, Jake's going to show this screen to you in a second, but this is where you can see your transcripts, which is really nice if you want to see what the IRS has on file for you. If they have a record of giving you an economic stimulus payment. So if you're still filing your 2021 return, this is where you can see what they have on record. If you got an advanced child tax credit, this is a place where you can go to see what their record is for you, whether or not they have your most recently filed tax return. And then if they had paperless notices for you on file, you can click there to see them. And you can also see authorizations for who can speak on your behalf. So if you've uploaded a power of attorney for Kruse to speak on your behalf, you'll be able to see that authorization there. I don't know if you haven't uploaded your power of attorney through the site, but we've sent it in via fax. I'm not totally sure whether or not it's going to show up. That's something we might need to look into.
Yeah.
I do know if you upload the power of attorney through the site, which we're going to show you next month, that will be a possibility for you to see it there. So
yep.
Just give you some background. All right, so want to show you a bunch of different options for paying online. The screen can be a little bit overwhelming when you first click on it. So we're going to walk you through just some different options that you might have.
Yeah. So top here, this is just go to your account, basically takes you back to where we were just at under that make a payment section. And then this is if you don't have an IRS account, this is where you go to basically pay. So you have pay for your bank account from your bank account and then pay by debit card, credit card, or a digital wallet like PayPal. And then so these are basically used to make all types of payments that you need. So, balance due, estimates, installment plans, amended returns, any type of payment you can name, it's going to be here. The one thing I'd recommend when you're doing this is to make sure you're doing it under the correct year. But the paying from your bank account, basically ACH, there's going to be no fees involved with that. But paying with a debit card, credit card, or digital wallet, there are going to be some fees that apply with that. So I always recommend going for the no fee and do the ACH from your bank account. Then we have the EFTPS. This is basically scheduling payments for during the year. So some people do their estimates just on a reoccurring basis. This is how they do it. And then last is apply for a payment plan. This is for people who need to pay their balance due and can't. And so they have to then arrange a payment plan with the IRS to then defer some of that liability throughout monthly and just pay it 1 month at a time. So this is going to be, like I said, for anyone who owes less than $50,000 or less. So they will automatically do it. You just have to pay the balance due within 3 years. Anything over that needs a financial statement.
If you ever need a payment plan or you know someone who does, reaching out to Kruse, we can always help you with that as well. It can be something that could be a little bit stressful. We can help. We can definitely assist with that. We do payment plans for people who owe more than $50,000. Like Jake said, it's a little bit of a different process, but it's definitely possible. So yes, please don't hesitate to reach out if that's something that you might need or be interested in. Just to go back just briefly to the bank account versus credit card, they're going to offer you multiple options no matter which option that you click on. So just my recommendation is just pay attention to how much you owe and like what the different options are, because sometimes they're going to charge you a flat fee. Sometimes they're going to charge you a percentage-based fee. Like Jake said, the ACH one is definitely the one to go with if you're able to. It's literally only a couple of dollars to do that, as opposed to if you want to do the credit card, debit card, or PayPal, something like that, the fee is going to be a lot higher. So just examine the options before you just click on one, make an informed decision.
Yeah, the credit card is going to be a percentage based. So if you're making a pretty large payment, it's going to be a pretty high, pretty big percentage of that.
All right, this is the transcript page. So from somebody who is not a CPA and does not regularly look at tax transcripts, this is always a lot for me. But I do really like the page too, because it's nice to know that you can click on, like, you have your records that the IRS has on file for you, very easily accessible. Should you ever need them, some people use them for filling out paperwork for their kids' college. I know we said, like, some banks might take it for loans. I know we've sent transcripts for people who hadn't filed their 21 return yet. Like, I've done that one time this year. So really helpful to know what the IRS has on file for you. And it does go back multiple years. We can only see 4 years on this, but if you click on show all, it'll go back, actually, I think, a couple more years as well.
I believe account transcript goes back to, I think, 10. But I'll explain a little bit more what each one does. So record of account transcript, that's basically all of these combined. So in return transcript, this is going to be a typed out version of your tax return. So if you pull Kruse's tax return, pull up your return transcript, it's going to be exactly the same unless they've made changes to it. It's just going to be typed out instead of like on a nice 1040 return form. Account transcript, this is basically going to be a record of payments and activity on the account. So if you've made a payment, it's going to show up here. If the IRS has refunded something to you, it's going to be there. If IRS has assessed penalties and interest, it's going to be there. Or increased tax is going to be there. Basically, anything that happens to your account, we're going to see it there. It'll also tell us what the balance due is on your account. Wage and income transcript, this is going to be every single form that's been filed under your social security number. So W-2s, 1099s, 1099Bs, which is brokerage sales. All of those sales are going to be on there. And sometimes the 1098 mortgage interest shows up on there.
Excellent. So if you ever have a question about which one you should pull, or you just want to talk about tax transcripts, give us a call. Jake is the expert and would be happy to tell you which one he recommends for whatever your purpose is. I think it is important to note too, like, we use this sometimes for taxpayers that aren't able to really have a good record of their account for whatever reason. So sometimes if kids are trying to help their parents file their tax returns, maybe a parent has passed away, the one that used to hold all the records, and the other spouse has no idea of where the tax forms were, what the payments were, etc. This can be a nice stress-free way of us helping you kind of assemble the account and what the IRS has on file. So sometimes if someone calls us kind of in a panic because they just don't know where to start, pulling a transcript can be a really great way to start to recreate what the IRS has on file. So if that's something that you're interested in, or you think might be of use to someone else, like, please feel free to give us a call. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so it's like I said, like Catherine said, it's basically for anyone that can't find a form that hopefully would have been filed, or like I said, account transcript. Like I said, we get a lot of, like I said, children of parents who take over their account and they can't find anything in the bank records, can't find any of their records, or can't even get a hold of the right firm to get the form. This is an easy way to, like I said, recreate this what happened, so we can get the, like I said, payments and the forms that they might be missing.
Yeah, absolutely. And just give us a call if you have any questions about that. This is the exciting page we like to show you. This is where you can find your refund status.
Yeah. So this is where you enter all your information, and you had to make sure it matches what your actual return says. They've now included the last 2 years, so 2021, 2020, and 2019, because the IRS has been so delayed on processing. They decided to include the last 2 tax years as well. So you enter your social, your filing status, and the exact whole dollar refund amount, and it'll give you some type of status update, whether it's, hey, you're done, we've already processed it, we've sent out your refund, or we still need more time, we're processing it, or there's a problem, call us.
Absolutely. And two, I forgot to say earlier, if you are looking for your refund status for the state that you live in, most states also have pages like this. Missouri, actually, you can sign up for text updates on where your refund is. So if it's something, if you're waiting for your IRS refund and your state refund, most states that I know of, I haven't come across any that don't have this page. have a way for you to track your state refund as well. I don't want to say everyone because I'm not totally sure, but they almost definitely have a page where you can see that. Just like Jake said, to reemphasize, if it really looks like your refund is stuck and it's been in the same stage for a large period of time, a couple of months, give us a call. We'll get a power of attorney to call on your behalf and try to get a better idea of where that is. Unfortunately, we can't make your refund come faster, but we can at least try to get a better sense of where it is in the system. Now we are going to go through signing up for an account. So really wanted to show you how easy it is to do this. I did this twice when we were creating the webinar, one for myself, one for my husband. Both times it took about 12 minutes. And the nice thing is after you get it set up, you don't have to do it again. So we're going to show you kind of the different screens that you're going to see, but also give you some security recommendations along the way. There are going to be a lot of options here, and Jake and I kind of feel like there are some better options a couple of times. So first things first, you're going to go on the IRS website, click on sign into your account, and then that's going to give you an option to create one. So this button, create an account down here, is the only one that you're going to see. Then it's going to kind of take you through a fairly typical sign-in process. If you were creating an account for a bank or a credit card, you're going to see relatively the same information. So first it's going to say, we're going to continue to this other site. It's going to confirm your email with a code in the same way that most places do. And after your email has been confirmed, you're then going to set up your multi-factor. You can't have an IRS site without also having a second way of confirming your identity. So there are multiple ways that you can do this. As you can see, there are 6 different options here, and there's even an app that you can download through ID.me, which is the IRS vendor. Jake and I would really like to emphasize that though there are multiple options, we believe that the best one for you is called the Code Generator application. So what this is an app that you can download on your phone. You can use the one the IRS recommends, that ID.me. You can download Google Authenticator. You can use Microsoft Authenticator. There are a lot of different apps out there. The key is that you want a free one. We like Google and Microsoft. We think that they're the best. And what this is going to do is anytime you wanted to get into your IRS account, you'll be able to open up the app on your phone, pull it up, type in a code, and get in. What's really nice about this is kind of 2 or perhaps even threefold. The first is that any other account you need to set up multi-factor on, you will be able to set up on the same app. So what I like about it is that I have my Gmail, my PayPal, my IRS account, all of my Hot Kruse apps, multiple other sites, all on my one Google Authenticator. So it kind of takes away the necessity to download a bunch of different apps for a bunch of different multi-factor. We also believe it's more secure than a text message or a phone call, and Jake will talk a little bit about why that is.
Yeah. So scams right now are evolving. You're not just getting a random email, a phishing email. A lot of the times they're an actual person that's calling your maybe cell phone provider and trying to get a SIM card recreation of your phone. So that way, whenever they put it in, your phone goes dead and they start receiving text messages. And so if you're using the text message or phone call, they're going to get it instead of you. And so you won't be alerted that, hey, someone's trying to sign into your account. And then they can basically have access to anything that you've used through your phone. Whereas the code generator application is straight to your phone. They have to literally have access to your phone, and they have to have it unlocked and find where this code generator app that you're using and be able to look at it. So if they aren't physically with you, they can't get into it. That's a big reason why some type of code generator application is going to be recommended on almost anything that allows you to do it.
And like, frankly, like from a practical perspective, it's a lot nicer than having like 15 different text messages coming through your phone with 6-digit codes every time. They're also just not as secure. They're going to sit there for 15 minutes to 24 hours and still be applicable. The code generator applications regenerate every 10 seconds. I can show you on my phone how nice it is. you pull it up, you get the code, and then you type it in. So if you ever need help with that, Jake and I love to talk about multi-factor authenticators.
Very
Happy to
passionate.
work with you on it for sure. So after you decide how to secure your account, you do have to verify your identity. So first you're going to upload a picture of your driver's license or take it in real time. And then it's actually going to send you a link for you to open on your phone and take a picture of yourself, which is kind of crazy, but actually like works. So my husband, I was helping him set it up. We still had to take the selfie with his phone. Basically what it does is it matches a picture of your driver's license or state nationally certified ID, takes that, matches it with the selfie of you sitting there, and is going to match your account that way.
One thing I'd recommend when you're taking the picture of your driver's license is having some type of black background, depending on what color, I guess, your ID is. I'm pretty sure most of them are like white or cream, but something that's going to contrast against that white, so that way it kind of stands out when you take the picture. I found that whenever I was doing mine, I had like a wood desk and it was kind of blending in and wasn't getting it. So I had to use like a little desk pad or the mouse pad that was black. And then I went up against it and it worked perfectly.
Absolutely. I think, I don't know if this is here. You can also verify your identity by like having an interview with an IRS agent. It does take a lot longer and like there is kind of a more significant wait. So if you're able to do it this way, it's going to be a little bit less of a headache, but for whatever reason, if you need to do it the other way, they are available for that. Yeah, and then it kind of is going to go through, match the picture, verify your identity, and then you will have your own account. Should have had like a big like congratulations, you have an account screenshot here, but we'll just have, this will suffice. And then you'll be able to access all of the different options that we just went over. So that is how to sign up for an IRS account. Lots of information there. I know we gave it to you in a pretty short period of time, but if you have any questions or if this is something that you'd like some assistance with, I've been on the phone with clients, help them to set up accounts. Jake has, other people in the office has. We're very passionate about this. We really think it's a good option for you, and we're more than happy to assist any way necessary. We are going to be doing this webinar on a monthly basis, giving you different tips and tricks from the IRS. So next month, we are going to talk about uploading a power of attorney to authorize Kruse to speak on your behalf, what that means, how to do it. And then we're also going to show you how to pay through your IRS account. So we'll walk through like a real life example of what that looks like, talk through the options again, and we'll be able to do it just in time for you to make your estimated tax payment. So yeah, if any of these options are helpful for you, or if you'd like to talk through anything, please don't hesitate to give Kruse a call. Jake and I are happy to talk with you. Very passionate about the subject. So.
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much for coming today, and we look forward to getting your questions.